I've been giving a lot of thought to advocacy, or speaking up for a cause, a person, or a principle, or a set of principles, or even an activity. And as always, you have to start with the self, right? So we're thinking about self-advocacy. Self-advocacy and how it is beneficial towards what we want in life. And I have to set some guidelines for myself for self-advocacy, right? A few of the things I think about when I'm thinking about self-advocacy would be clarity of vision, clarity of my goals, clarity of my worth. When you're out in the world speaking for yourself or acting for yourself, you have to know what it is you're getting at, what your grand vision is. Because if you don't have an idea of your vision, it'll be easy to get distracted or pulled this way and that way and never have an idea of where you're going. It's the same way with clarity of goals. Maybe you don't have all your goals set out at first, but you can nail down goals, and as you achieve them, the new goals that are going to be needed should fall into place, or you should find something or someone who's going to help you figure out your next goals. We're here on the Willowpaw Rails to Trails, and I think that's the old steam engine. Actually, I know it is. So clarity of vision, clarity of goals, and being clear about your worth. Knowing what you're good at, what you're not good at, and your value towards whatever it is you're getting into. Not compromising on your vision, on your goals, or on your worth. That is to say, not getting drawn into things that aren't towards what you're after. A lot of people may say that that's stubborn, or that's selfish, that's not the way to do things. I'm not saying don't be creative towards your endeavors, don't be creative towards your vision or your goals. Of course, you're going to have to think outside your box and develop ways to achieve these things. Sometimes you're going to run into roadblocks or obstacles that you have no idea how to deal with, but you keep your vision in mind and you adapt your actions towards that. And also being creative towards your worth. There's going to be lots of things about your personality and your abilities that you may write off as not valuable, as not worthy, as maybe even silly. But when you start getting around people and self-advocating and looking for people to get on board or get on board with, you'll realize that there's people out there looking for these traits that you have. They're trying to dig them up and find them out in the world so they can apply those to whatever it is they're getting into. So self-advocacy is super important, to have a clear vision, clear goals, and a clear understanding of your worth. And then when you begin to self-advocate and you have an understanding of yourself and what you bring to the table, you may intentionally or unintentionally recruit people that go out into the world and advocate for you. And these people are also going to need to have a clear understanding of your vision, your goals, and your worth, so they can go out into the world and speak that for you. And then if they set up, say, a meeting for you, or you just happen to meet somebody, there's going to be a clear understanding of where you're coming from. One thing that I have ran into quite a bit is people may want you to compromise your vision It may want you to compromise your goals, and they may want you to compromise your worth based on what somebody who was out in the world supposedly speaking for you said. So you have to make sure that the people that are out in the world speaking for you are on board with what you have going on, and won't negotiate away from or compromise away from what you're getting at before you even have a chance to enter the conversation. When people do this to you, or they'll say they're doing it for you, people will tell you that they're advocating for you when they go out and recruit people towards your cause. But if they're recruiting, but if they're compromising away from your goals, away from what you intend, then they aren't advocating for you. May likely be that they are advocating for themselves, seeking glory for themselves through your name. So you have to make sure that when you have people out advocating for you, that they're on board with your vision, which means you have to be clear about your vision. It's the same for, like, me personally. If anybody comes to me and they say, we want you to advocate for us, or we want you to speak for us, we want you to go get sponsors for us, we want you on board for this thing, I start asking a lot of questions. I ask, what's your mission? What's your mission statement? What's your vision? What are your goals? Where do I fit in? And I look to see if they understand their own worth. If a person is initiating something, initiating an endeavor, and they want me on board, I personally need to know that they're not going to compromise away from their vision, or it makes it hard, or if not impossible, for me to get on board. I don't want to. Because when you compromise away from what you want, your plans will always change, your vision will change, your self-worth will even change according to, the flavor of the day, whoever the newest person is that comes around, or in what they may or may not offer you. Another thing I've personally ran into is when people that are supposed to be on your side are out in the world complaining about you. And you have to avoid being around these people. Again, they set up an atmosphere where you come along and you go to meet somebody, or you just met somebody and they've heard of you from people that are supposed to be on your side, but they're reacting based on what this person told them, and it may not be entirely good. And so they're approaching you not as you are in that moment, but as this person described you to them. One other thing I've ran into is people who are really amped up, seemingly really amped up about what you're doing, and they're out there and they're really hype, and they're out there telling the world about you, and they've never experienced what it is that you have to share. They've never really been on board or tried, like if you have a program, they've never really tried your program. If you have a training regimen, they've never really tried your training regimen. If you're out there giving advice, they've never really tried your advice, yet they're out in the world just really pumped about what you got going on. But the problem is, as soon as questions arise, they don't have any real answers, and this can throw people off. This can put people off about actually coming into contact with you or trying anything that you're offering. So ultimately, you have to be very clear about your goals, your vision, and your worth. You have to make sure that the people that are speaking for you out in the world are speaking for you, and they are very clear about your goals, your vision, and your worth. And you have to make sure that if you're out in the world speaking for or advocating for somebody else or something else, that you are very clear about the vision, about the goals, and what this service or activity is worth. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends and family. If you have anything to add, go ahead and add it in the comments section, and maybe we can expand on this a little bit later on. Thank you.